Good morning, students. My name is Bella. I am your English teacher. Now, let me move to the lesson. Before that, let me tell you about your education for the higher secondary course. As you are moving to the higher secondary course, your system of education differs from the lower class. And let me tell you, you have 6 units. That is, each unit has prose, poetry and supplementary reader. And that is happy to tell you that you don't have memory poem in this year. And now let me move to the lesson, that is the Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. The Portrait of a Lady is written by Khushwant Singh. Now let me tell you about the author. Author Khushwant Singh is an Indian novelist and lawyer, and he was born in the year 1915, 2nd February, and died in 20 March 2014. And his father's name is Sobha Singh, mother is Veera Bai. And he studied his college, that is in St. Stephen College, Delhi, and King's College, London. Let me move on to the next point. He joined IFS course, that is Indian Foreign Service. He joined in the year 1947, and he got many awards, that is Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, everything. And his works are The Mark of Vishnu, Success Mantra, The Train to Pakistan are his brilliant works. Now let me move to the lesson. See the heading, the Portrait of a Lady. What do you mean by the portrait? Okay, it is a picture, a photo, whatever. But here the writer Khushwant Singh explains about the portrait. It is the description of a lady. It is said about the lady is here, not any other person, his own grandmother. The grandmother is very affectionate with the writer Khushwant Singh. So he wants to tell, or he wants to describe his grandmother. So he has written this lesson, The Portrait of a Lady. It is not a story, actually it is a real life, that is an affection between Khushwant Singh and his grandmother. Okay, now let me tell you about joint family and nuclear family. What do you know about joint family and nuclear family? Okay, joint family. Yeah, it is a very congested one. You will have lot of love, affection, everything. Okay, what about a nuclear family? Nuclear family, it is a small and you will have lot of space. Okay, any other points? Loving, caring, more money, etc. So now you might have seen there is a nuclear family and a joint family. You might have felt the difference between these two. So here the writer wants to tell the importance of the joint family. It is how he is going to miss his grandmother. That importance only he is explaining in this lesson. Okay, let me move on to the lesson. Everyone take your book, page number 1, The Portrait of a Lady. See, here it is said about the bond between the author and his loving grandmother. So the lesson starts with that, a relationship between the writer and his grandmother. And now let me tell you the gist of the lesson. The author starts his narrative about his grandmother in the appearance, how he felt, the happiness with his grandmother, what are the efforts taken by his grandmother to his upcoming knowledge, everything. Okay. So now first point, it says about the author's grandmother, how her appearance it is. It's slightly bent and lot of wrinkles. This all the appearance he wanted to tell, and how she wears the dress, that is a white dress. Usually in the woman, her husband, when he is there, the lady used to wear white dress. So how pure white dress she is wearing, that without any spot of dirt, she is wearing a beautiful dress, and how her appearance, everything looks, he is going to explain in the first paragraph. And the second paragraph, he is going to tell you about the grandfather. So he have never seen his grandfather, but he has seen in a picture, that is how he looks like. He is having a long beard, and he looks like 100 years old man. This all the how he looks like, everything is explained in the second paragraph. And it is said about the parents of the writer Khushwant Singh. That is, the parents, they moved to the city for their job, and now Khushwant Singh is left with his grandmother. So how he enjoyed his village life with his grandmother, there is a good relationship between the Khushwant Singh and the writer, that is Khushwant Singh and his grandmother. So now this is the experience he had in the village, how he is moving to the temple to learn alphabets and small songs. These are the basic education they get from the village temple. So these things he is explaining here very beautifully in a village time. And now let's move on to the next stage. He is going for his university classes, and he is moving to the city life. So that how he is changing, how he is changed by the education system. That is moving in the English medium school and moving in the school bus. These all the changes he has met in the city school. So these things he is explaining in the next coming stanzas. And now after that he is moving to the universities for the higher education to abroad. So how he is missing his grandmother, but how the grandmother is tackling all the situations, village life, city life, without his grandson. This is all the situation how the grandmother is looking into. That is the thing he is explaining here. Okay, now let me tell you, take your book, page number 1, and let me read and explain you the lesson. Okay, the portrait of a lady. So already I told you the portrait of a lady. Who is the lady? Yes, grandmother. Grandmother of Khushwant Singh. So here is a story that brings out the bond between the author and his loving grandmother. As I said already, there is a relationship between author and the grandmother. That only is explained in this lesson. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. So like other grandmother, you might have seen many grandmother, your grandmother, your grandparents, you might have seen how they look like. They are very old. So his grandmother also looking very old as other old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for 20 years that I had known her. So for the past 20 years, the author is looking his grandmother. How she is looking like? The same old appearance. The same old appearance for more than 20 years she is looking. So it is not changed. It is not young to old or such a thing. Continuously for 20 years, how she is old age, and she is having wrinkles. Wrinkles means there is a lines in the face when the old people they get when they are getting into the old age, their face become wrinkles. So this appearance the grandmother has. And people said that she had once been young and pretty and even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. So the people said about the grandmother that she was looking very young and she was looking very beauty in her young age. And they said that she had a husband too. There was a husband, that is his own grandfather. So he also looks very old in the portrait. And my grandfather portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. So here this grandfather's portrait or picture, where it was means it was placed in the place of mantelpiece. What is meant by mantelpiece? Mantelpiece is like a shelf. In olden days, that the house will be very cold, chill place. by in that he has seen how the grandfather looks like. So here he is telling he wore a big turban. So in the North Indians they will be wearing a big turban in their heads. Okay, so that he is wearing a big turban and loose fitting clothes like pajamas. They will be wearing a clothes like pajamas, that is called loose fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest. So he has a long beard which is covering his chest, everything. So it is a long one. And he looked at least 100 years old. So the appearance of the grandfather is like a 100-year-old man. So it is like that. He did not look the sort of person who would have wife or children. So now the writer is telling the grandfather's portrait, it is looking like a 100-years-old man, but he looks like, that is, he don't have wife or children. But what is that? Rather than that, he is having lot of grandchildren. So that much old man he is looking like in the portrait. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. So not one or two children, lots of grandchildren. So he seems like very old grandfather. As for my grandfather being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. Revolting means it is disgusting. So it is as the grandfather was young and pretty, the thought, everything how it was changed. She often told us the games she used to play as a child that seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like the fables of the prophets she used to tell us. So now in her old age, that is a grandmother's young age, she played very well. So that experience, everything she used to narrate to that writer Kushal Singh. So what she used to narrate is, in olden days I used to play with my friends, everything like this she used to narrate. But this narrating story, it doesn't look like a real one for the author. How it looks like means like hearing a story. We cannot believe that they have enjoyed well. So for the writer, it looks like he is hearing such a story, and that she used to tell about her olden days. So now let me come to the next point, next paragraph. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. So the grandmother's appearance, how it is, she is looking little short and slightly bent. So when the old people get into their old age, they cannot walk steadily. So they will be having a slight bent in their hook, and so they will be having a hand in the waist. So her face was crisscross of wrinkles running from everywhere to everywhere. So as old age, her face was having a lot of wrinkles, that is a crisscross lines, the lines moving from one place to the other, and it was we can see in her face. No, we were certain she had always been as we had known her. So for past 20 years, how the grandmother is looking like the same appearance she has. She is not having any changes. So when we are youth and when we are moving into the next stage, we will have some difference. So in our appearance or our dressing, everything will have some changes. But she is very old. There is no any changes in her life. The same way for the past 20 years she is being. And she had always been as we had known her. So for how many days we had been knowing her, the same way she is looking now. Old, so terribly old that she could not have grown older. So than this older she could not be. So like that till the end of the old age, how the people will be looking at that appearance she looks. And had stayed at the same age for 20 years. For the 20 years she is looking at the same age. She could never have been pretty, but always beautiful. So here, what is the difference between pretty and beautiful? So some persons may look pretty, some people may look like beautiful. So what is the difference between pretty and beautiful? Both also it is good, But here, pretty, it is looking like, telling like attractive, very attractive. Beautiful means it is having some shining in their appearance. So this author wants to narrate her grandmother that she looks very beautiful. It is not much pretty. And she hobbled. Hobbled means walking unsteadily. So old people, they will be moving, walking like hobbled. That is walking unsteadily. They cannot walk very straight. So they will be moving unsteadily. About the house in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop and the other telling the beads of her rosary. So now, what is mean by rosary? Yeah, it is said about, you can tell that in Tamil, Jabamalai. Okay, so that rosary, that beads we can see when you are using for the prayer, you will be having that rosary in your hand and you will be counting that beads and you will be saying some prayer. So here, this grandmother house, she will be moving. She will be moving in the house. That is not in a steady walk, unsteady walk. She will be having the hands in her waist. That is to balance herself. And what she will be doing? She will be looking into the rosary in her hands, and she will be saying some prayers. Her silver locks were scattered unsteadily over her pale, puckered face, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. So her face, that is grandmother's curly white hair, it covers in her face, and how it looks like silver locks. Silver locks, how it is looking like grandmother's curly hair, and it is scattered everywhere. It is not in a evenly combed hair, it is scattered. And puckered face. Puckered face means it is like a face with wrinkles, everything. It is called puckered face. And her lips, what it will be doing? It will be saying inaudible prayer. So we cannot hear the prayer clearly, but like murmuring we will say. So the murmuring sound of a prayer we can hear often from the grandmother. Yes, she was very beautiful. She was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. So here the writer wanted to explain his grandmother's beauty. That is, he is telling about the winter landscape in the mountains. Here, winterscape in the mountains, it says about the pure white. That is, a person is looking pure white with very peaceful happiness in her face. And it's serenity means calmness. So if we see some grandparents, our heart will feel very happy to look them. So very peace and very calm. So this appearance we can see in this grandmother. So this contentment means full satisfaction. When we see a person, what will happen? Our heart will feel very satisfaction to look them. So this appearance of the grandmother is very happy to see. And the next paragraph, let me move on. My grandmother and I were good friends. So there was not like the grandfather and the grandmother and the grandchild. There was a good relationship, a good friendship was there. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. So now the parents, Khushwant Singh's parents, they left Khushwant Singh with the grandmother in the village, and they moved to the city life. So now they had a good relationship in the village with the grandmother. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. So usually the parents used to wake up you in the early morning. You will be getting little trouble to get up from the bed, and it will be irritating for you to get up in the early morning. So here who is going to wake up the author is the grandmother. Early morning she will make the writer to wake up and making him to get ready, everything the grandmother used to do. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing-song while she bathed, and dressed me in the hope that I would listen and know it by heart. I listened because I loved her voice but never bothered to learn it. So usually whenever morning the grandmother wake up the grandson, that is the writer, after that what she used to do, she will be telling the monotonous prayer. That is a monotonous means a boring prayer. the sound of the songs, it will not rise up or it will not rise down. It goes in the same level. It is a boring method. That is a monotonous song. So that way she will be singing the prayer, or she will be singing some religious songs, everything, and she will be doing her work. And what the writer will do, he just listens this music, not the words. The grandmother thinks that let him listen and by heart the song. But the writer, what he will never do, us, you people, you students, what you will do, you will listen the songs and you will never memorize the words. Memory poem or such a thing. You like to hear songs, but you will never memorize the words of the song. The same way, the writer enjoys the music or enjoys the sound of the grandmother, but he never learns or he never by heart the song. And then she should fetch my wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen ink pot, and a red pen. Tie them all in a bundle and hand it to me. So after waking the Khushwant Singh, what the grandmother used to do, she will tie all the things what is needed for his learning. That is, in those days there was a wooden slate. You might have seen, you might have taken for learning in your childhood days, wooden slate and a chalk piece. So like that, the grandmother used to tie everything. That is a red pen, an ink pot, and wooden slate, a chalk, yellow chalk. These are the things she used to tie it and she bundle and she used to give to the author. So with taking all these things, he can go to and learn something in the village temple. After a breakfast of a thin, stale chapati with a little butter and sugar spread on it, we went to school. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the village dogs. So after this breakfast, what they will be doing, as it is in the northern side, he used to have the chapatis, that is their food. So chapati, stale chapati means which is not fresh. So they will have lot of chapatis, they will prepare and they will have it. So after their breakfast, what they will do, they will take the remaining with them and they will be moving to the through the village. That time what will happen, for what reason they are carrying this chapatis is to put it for the village dogs. They want to share the stale chapatis. Stale chapatis means not fresh. That chapatis to the village dog they used to feed. So when they are eating, they will be spreading with butter and spreading small sugar in it and they will be eating. So now when they are moving to the village, they will be giving this stale chapatis for the dogs too. So we can see always if we are feeding something for the dog, it will be moving with us till the place where we are reaching. It will be coming. So here also the writer has experienced that a lot of dogs that will be coming back of them. For what reason? For eating this stale chapatis. Okay, now let me move on to the next paragraph. My grandmother always went to school with me because she was attached, the school was attached to the temple. So always the grandmother used to go with to the school to leave this grandson. What is the reason is, the school is attached with the temple. So not like the modern days, the schools is in a separate place and the temple is in a separate place. It is not like that. In olden days, how the school was means, it is attached with that temple. So the small children used to go to the temple and there they will be sitting and they will be learning. So now this grandmother used to go to the temple and she will be sitting down making his grandson to learn his own subject. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer. So there was no any special teacher for them to teach. Who was the teacher there? The priest was the teacher for the small children. So here what they will be teaching is the basic things, basic prayer, basic alphabet. These are the things the priest will be teaching for the children. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer, while the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda, singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus. My grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures. So in the temple, what they will be doing, they will be sitting in a rows. There is a neat rows they will be making, and they will be sitting down. And while the other children is sitting in the side of the veranda. Veranda means you might have seen the corridor of the passage of the temple, we can say as a veranda. So in that place, the other children will be sitting, and they will be, what they will be doing means they will be singing the prayer in a chorus. Chorus means in a group they will be singing the prayer. And what the grandmother will be doing when these children are learning, she will be inside the temple and she will be reading the scriptures, that is a holy book she will be reading. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. So now the grandmother will be reading the scripture and the author will be learning some alphabets or chorus songs, everything. So now after both they have completed their reading, what they will be doing, they too also will be going back to the home. We would walk back together. This time the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. So now when they are moving out of the temple, who will be waiting? There is a group of dogs which will be waiting there. For what reason? To get the chapati from the grandmother. So they followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other for the chapati we threw to them. So what they will be doing? Like you might have seen the street dogs, what it will be doing. If you give some biscuits or some eatables, it will be growling and it will be fighting. So like growling means like making some small sounds for the food. So it will be acting very smart to get the food. So like the same way, when they are moving out of the temple, the dogs will be moving towards to get the food from the grandmother. Let me move on to the next paragraph. When my parents were comfortably settled in the city. So this is the turning point. So now till now we have seen the village life, how the village life made the writer very happy. He enjoyed going to the school, that is in the temple, and he enjoyed with the grandmother. There was a good relationship between the grandmother and the writer. This whole thing was a very good relationship they had. They enjoyed very well. But now there is a change in their life when the writer is going to the city. That is, when my parents were comfortably settled in the city, they sent for us. That was a turning point in our friendship. So in our friendship means in the friendship between the writer and the grandmother. So when the parents they was living in the city and they will be sending something, maybe money or some affection or something what they wanted for the city, for the village life, that everything they was sending from the city life. So now there was a turning point. So what is the turning point is that a relationship between the author and grandmother is going to differ here. So till now the grandmother was taking care of this writer very well. She only used to wake up him every morning and they had a good life, but now they are going to move to the city life. So there is a lot of changes will be there in their friendship. Although we shared the same room, my grandmother no longer came to school with me. So now in the village life, the grandmother and the writer used to move to the school and they will be having their learning everything and they will be coming back in the same way. But here they don't wanted to come back and they don't want to, the grandmother cannot come to the school. He used to go separately. And I used to go to an English school in a motor bus. So now how he is going? He don't have any dogs to come back or he don't want to walk. He has to go with his motor bus. The school bus will be coming and it will be pick up him and it will go. So he don't have to walk to school and it is an English school. There were no dogs in the streets and she took to feeding sparrows in the courtyard of our city house. So now there is no any street dogs. Now what the grandmother has to do is she has to finish it up. She has to come to the house and she used to feed the small sparrows. So now she feels very lonely in the city house or city. So what is the difference? The city life and the village life. Now there is a lot of changes for the writer and also his grandmother. So the remaining paragraph let me teach in the next class. Now thank you students. Hope you have all understood this class and be in touch with the next class. Thank you.